Good evening, everybody. The Tactical Devils are back, baby. And there's some great news. The season is finally over. It's finally over. We can all celebrate, be happy. No more disappointments every weekend, every Wednesday, Thursday night, Sunday night. We're done. And Man United play Aston Villa today. We won the game 2-0. Some controversies, red card to the goalkeeper, some disallowed goal for an, attack on the goalkeeper. So a lot of things happen. We will go through all the footage. We will look at the chances Man United had. We'll go through the tactical board. I know you all love the tactical board. It's not boring. No, it's not. For nerds like me and Stu and you guys, the devilish tacticos. So guys, smash the like and I will play the intro and Stu and I will be back after the little break. So see you in a second. Good evening, all, and welcome again to the Tactical Devils. Man United won the game 2-0 against Aston Villa, but I'm happy because the season is finally over. And first of all, I want to just bring you some breaking news that just came in from, I believe it was Ben Jacobs. And this came up. Here we are. Exclusive. Matheus Cunha has agreed a 5-year contract with MUFC. And Manchester United will now approach Wolves in this weekend. And Cunha has a £62.5 million clause. Cunha is expected to wear the number 10 at Man United if all goes to plan. So, breaking news. We are getting Cunha.
That is breaking.
Yes.
New breaking news. Are they going to stay behind? Because don't we fly off to Kuala Lumpur or whatever it is tonight or tomorrow? Or I don't know where we're going. Somewhere like that. Anyway, hey, good evening. Big up Devilish Tacticos. Yes. Thank fuck the season is over.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We can talk more about the Cunha thing. Let's just say hello to just to me and all the Devilish Tacticos. So, yes, how's your day been, Stu? Have you had a great weekend or?
Superb weekend. As you can see, I'm sporting. I was a guest at Yamaha Pramac Racing or Prima Pramac Yamaha Racing today, at the MotoGP. So I had a great time. Always get loads of goodies. This is one of the goodies. Caps. Other than that, saw a little. Bumped into a few people. One was a bit weird, very surreal, but bumped into a few people. Most people I know. Randy Mamola, it's an absolutely brilliant motorcycle racer in his past. Guy Martin, brilliant motorcycle racer. But of course, we weren't allowed to, for the first time ever, though, we weren't allowed to take pictures of the inner workings of the pit lane today.
Okay.
Which is unusual because normally we're allowed to. But we saw various things, which is great. We saw a great race. So if any of you are into your MotoGP, that's what I was doing today. So big up to everybody. Big up Andrew. Big up to Devilish Tacticos. I have kind of kept up with what's not in F1, Broderick. No, just the motorcycle side of it. I've caught up with pretty much everything today. Seen the goals, Eriksen's penalty. Straight down the middle. What more do you want? But really, I'm just really glad the season's over. Really grateful for the support that you've shown me and Jarvis since Christmas as well, guys. So big up to you all. Yeah, absolutely.
Legends, all of you. And let's say hello to all the people that has tuned in for tonight's show. Sorry, we came on a little bit later than usual. We usually go live on the whistle, but tonight
My
we had
fault.
stuff to do. So it is what it is. But we will go through the match. You will get your doses of Stu and Jarvis and all the live footage from the game, and we will try to break it down as best as we can. First of all, I want to say hi to Jordan Wall coming in and say, big up everyone. Thank you for the season. This was a disaster, but this is the past. The good days are coming. Okay, in the words of Amorim, we all heard his speech after the game. So yeah, quite inspiring words, that one. Raven Strip is here coming in. The storm is over. The good days are coming. A lot of people notices that. So yeah, I think it was a good speech. Andrew Collins is here. Evening all, much love. Thank you. Thank God that the season is over. And the same from Neil Driscoll. Big up, Neil Driscoll. Good to see you. Danny B is in the house. Raven Strip is here. Rebel Bakir is here. Broderick is here. Who else? Let me go. Day147, the Bootinator coming in. 21 likes, guys.
Already?
Girls, keep smashing the like. We are currently at 846 subscribers, so we are slowly and steadily climbing on the way to 1,000. So if you are new to the channel, please give us a subscribe.
Yes, please.
Barman is in the house. Did I miss anyone? No, I don't think so. Burba, big up, Burba. Good to see you. Rush Mano is here. Rob Taff. The legend who is Nas M187 or 87, sorry, coming in and say, hi, Jarvis and Stu. I hope you guys stay cool and calm selves during this period. A lot of our fans are turning into whiny ego lords. Edge lords. Okay, edge lords. We will turn it around. Let's stay united. Yeah, that's
I agree.
Nash.
I agree.
But I've been on a couple of shows lately, with Noradin and with Cass and all the guys. So, I'm my skepticism to Ten Hag is growing a little bit. I still support the man 100%, but I feel that maybe he will have some troubles getting his visions through because of the owners, and I think we don't have the time he will need to get his system working. But time will show, and I like Amorim's confidence, especially after today's speech. Johnny K is in the house. Good evening, all. Good performance.
JK.
Terrible season. Big summer ahead. Yes, big up Johnny K. What's Wizard is here. A lot of the legends are coming in. So it's good to see you all. Good to see you all. And let's just get into the show.
Before we start, Raven Strip, Brad Binder you're talking about, he is brilliant in the wet. Or when it's damp, when it's greasy, he's absolutely brilliant. Didn't ride so well today. Hasn't really got the bike under him at the moment, but he is South African. But brilliant in the wet. Great to watch in the wet. Probably needs a better team. Been a bit stale last couple of seasons. So whether he holds out, whether he goes back down the grid or not, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But you're absolutely right. He is South African, yeah. Sorry about that. I just wanted to address Raven.
Yes. And then our Brain is in the house. Hey, guys. Good to see you. A lot of legends tuning in, as I said. Yes. And please smash the like early. That's always helpful when it comes to the algorithms. Yes. United, Stu, today, again, after a dreadful performance, showed up when there's no pressure. And again, we know there's some ballers in this team and they know how to play football. How do you assess this, showing up when there's no pressure again?
That's the worst thing about football to me in all levels, whatever level you play. You can't pick and choose when you turn up because you've got 10 other colleagues on the pitch with you that require you to be at your optimum. Now, you can have bad games. Everybody has a bad game. And everybody says, look, we've got to start looking at people and judging people. But you have to judge yourself first and foremost. And if you don't judge yourself, then others will judge you more harshly. And what's happened right now over the last few months is that we are judging these players, rightly so, very harshly, because they have shown elements of laziness. They've shown elements of they just don't give a toss. They've shown elements of they can't be bothered. They're showing all the wrong signals and signs for fans of this great club to get behind them. Back in the day, back when I was growing up in the 70s, when we were having a bad time, the players actually tried to play football. And I want to see our players doing that through the whole season. And, it's true. There is, people talk about pressure in football. We've said it before, Jarvis, pressure's paying your mortgage, making sure your kids
100%.
eat and they got clothes on their back. That's pressure. These lads don't have pressure. They go back to their multi-million pound, homes, cars, etc., etc., etc. What I was really wanted to see over the past 6 months was desire, and we just haven't seen that desire from enough of those players. It's dropped in and it's dropped out. I think you're right. I think we turned up today. I think you're absolutely right. There are ballers in our team. Harry Maguire, Sir Maguire, demonstrated how to twist and turn in the box. If I was Rasmus, I'd been looking at him because he's done it twice now. Almost set up Dallo it was a great strike. But these are happening in patches. And I don't want to, like I said to you on Wednesday night, Jarvis, I don't want to hear excuses anymore. I want players to come out, be accountable, and see what occurs from there. Don't think Villa were great. I agree with Barton. I think Villa choked today. They got too much for them. Emery is normally quite passive, isn't he? And he was blaming a clear error by the referee. Villa, you've got to turn up if you want to win Champions League football. You've got to scratch. So look, I was joking in the paddock today with a lot of fans, and we were saying, Manchester United playing not to finish fourth from bottom. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in, guys. We're playing not to finish fourth on bottom, and we only finished 15th on goal difference. So, but look, do you know what? I'm kind of glad that the season's over. You're going to see some kind of changes. I know there's been arguments on other channels just recently about will he be backed, won't he be backed, etc., etc., etc. It will be interesting to see. Budgets would have been done October time. You don't just budget for the summer months today. Budgets would have been done a while ago. Amorim would have known what he wanted a while ago. So we shall see. I don't know. It's hard to kind of put into context, isn't it? How the season's gone, and kind of like so.
Yeah, Nas also comes in and says, due to the fair pressure comes in many forms. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Nas, I mean, I work with a lot of elite sportsmen. We talk to these guys all the time, and there are different pressures in all walks of life. I totally agree, and I totally agree with what you're saying. We just have to find a way, or clubs have got to find a way to guide players better. Ganacho is a great example of not being guided properly. Hoyland's another example of not being guided, properly. Anthony probably wasn't guided properly and things of that nature. So it's quite interesting. It's a good point now, Naz, and totally agree with you, mate.
Yeah, big up Aaron Mitchell coming in and say good evening, good evening, good evening. But I just want to say, when it comes to pressure, to stress, to moments like this, that's moments for growth. If you can handle it, if you know what to look for. But we are terrified for pressure and stress, and we don't want to be burdened by stuff that's difficult. And I don't think life is made that way. I think we need to strive, we need to try, and don't crumble under pressure. And I think this is a mentality a lot of these Man United players need to learn. I think they need to develop the robustness, the resilience that we knew under Ferguson. And I think that's what, for example, Mourinho talked about when he talked about heritage. It's
Yeah.
about how you stand together, us against them. The siege mentality to be we were known for.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, since Sir Alex has gone, we've had a bit of an issue in terms of allowing certain things to happen. Yeah, within the club, player power has grown hugely, hasn't it? And that's right across the board in football.
Mm.
And it's starting to spill over now into other sports. You can see certain things that are happening when sportsmen and women are unhappy. They're making a certain stand, which was never seen before in their particular sports. But you're absolutely right. Fear of failure, hatred of losing. I'm a terrible winner, as we all know. I'm an awful winner. Well, I question everything, and maybe I shouldn't. But I need that certain element of being a tosser to play my game. I need that element, that streak in me that makes me a complete wanker, and people will hate me. But I need that for my game. And it's really interesting. You can talk to sportsmen for all walks of lives, and they all rely on something different to get them motivated. But we just are seeing and have seen, weak mental footballers, mentally weak-minded footballers at Manchester United for too long now. We need winners. People don't like Emi Martinez. They just don't like him. Look, he was an idiot today. There's no two ways about it. But he was an idiot that tried something. He tried to affect something in the game. Yeah, he got it wrong and he got sent off. But we wouldn't have seen Bryan in that particular place. Rodgers would have been bearing down on goal. And Arnold Martinez is going. Rodgers would have been bearing down on goal. So what do you want? Cunha, he's got that real mean streak in him. He's a fucking absolute tosser, isn't he? But we need that. We need somebody who's gonna do that. And when you've got one or two players like that within a team, we're all footballers. We've all played football, and you look around and you think, if I get taken out, X, Y, and Z is going to come in and back me up here. We just don't have that, and I want to see aggression in our team next year and our play next year. But at the end of the day, it's just one of those. We treated it today like another game, unfortunately, and it's a game that they've won. But you have to look at it. We didn't win it with 11 on 11. We won it with 11 on 10. We were decent for 30 minutes, weren't we? Till was it 35 minutes when he got the bullet?
No, it was right before half time, I believe. 2 minutes,
I can't remember the time.
minute. Yeah.
47 was it? But at the end of the day, we didn't do necessarily anything. We missed chances again, didn't we? So I don't know. I don't know.
No. I saw someone requesting. Was it Danny B who requested a tactical ball? So let's just get into it.
Yes.
At this stage, here we go. So I don't know how deeply you follow the games too, but I would say tonight or today the key was our press play. I think both Mount and Ahmad pressed with intensity when they were high up the pitch, and Bruno also. It was almost like a front four press and Casemiro behind them when we pressed. That was something new that I like. Masraoui always ready to jump, and he always jumped on the fullback of Aston Villa. So Ahmad was more involved with the central press. And also on the other side was Dorgu up against Cash in the press play, and they were almost not jumping; they was just standing high on the pitch. And the key to this for me was the role of Lindelöf and Heaven. I think both of them had a brilliant game today because they covered these areas on the pitch all the time. So Casemiro he just swooped up the ball when he came out, and we had two wide centre backs who were always available and pressed high. So for me, I think that was the key for tonight's for today's performance, in a way. So, and we talked about this many of times.
We have,
We have to be
yeah.
tough enough, robust enough, and especially young Heaven. He plays like he's 30 years old, and
He's an
he's really good.
interesting talent, isn't he, young Heaven?
Fantastic talent.
He's
Yes.
he's an interesting talent. It'll be interesting to see how he's used and utilised next season. We'll obviously see him a lot more next season, and what he's going to do. Aaron, particularly with the likes of Martinez coming back. Although, actually, the interesting thing about this now is, with the development of Yoro and Heaven, De Ligt and Maguire, you can really allow Martinez's knees to really heal and really strengthen. We don't need to see Martinez probably till October at the earliest, rather than getting back in for pre-season, give him an extended break, and make sure that when he does come back, his knee muscles are particularly strong above the knee, and he's not putting too much pressure on both, and on his weaker knee at the moment. So it'd be good to see how he can utilise that, because we know that De Ligt was playing very, very well before he got his injury. We know that anytime Lenny Yoro's played, he's played at a high standard, but Heaven in particular has shown a real level of competence.
He was really good.
I don't think any of us were expecting.
No. I don't think, not for this season at least. We all thought he was a decent talent, but he needed time to come into this squad. But I think he's proved himself. It was his second start for Man United, and he played really well again. So, but also Lindelöf, I think, played really well. He seems to understand his role in this system, when to push, when to drop, and his positioning. That's why I wanted Lindelöf to start the Europa League final, not because Lindelöf is a great player per se, but because I think he understands this system really good. And I have some footage for you guys, because I felt like we had like a narrow press with these guys and Højlund in front of them, and Casemiro behind them. So we made it difficult for Villa to try to play out, and it always ended with Martinez panicking and trying to find Maatsen or Cash, and then Dorgu or Masraoui was there right away. And when they just hoofed the ball up, we were there on the second ball, and Heaven or Lindelöf won it against Rodgers and McGinn. So we kept the pressure going, and the momentum
key element to that, Jarvis, is Mount. Mount's the key element to that. Yeah, I think you mentioned it a good 6 weeks ago, what Mount offers in that
intensity in the press play.
Yeah, and he does, and you've got him positioned middle left, we'll call it, but obviously he popped up in Ahmad's position on occasion, pops up where Bruno is, pops up alongside Højlund. He makes that back four or back three or back five work. And you mentioned the perfect word, and that's panic. And when you've got panic in the centre of defence, or the goalkeeper, or out wide, they are just going to try and launch it. And you're right about the second ball, where Lindelöf and Heaven collects. And we've wanted that for a while, haven't we? We've spoken about the need and the necessity to be in that position, to be able to pick up that second ball. And where you've got Casemiro is exactly where he should be, in the central spine. That's where he needs to be. You've got Maguire backing up Casemiro. You've got Casemiro and Bruno all in the central spine. And if you don't want to keep going back to my system, Jarvis, I shouldn't. But what did my system demonstrate? It was all about the central spine.
Yeah.
And having Maguire or De Ligt, whoever it is, Casemiro and Bruno, and then Bruno able to operate, within that final third window. Mount and Ahmad, and that's where we got the goals from, wasn't it? Ahmad's goal in particular was where, he picks up the ball pretty much. Bruno drops it in, he picks up he runs off of Torres, doesn't he, and gets into the back stick. His position where you've got him now is exactly where he pushes in for his goal.
have some viewers coming in. I see some URT rates. So big ups to and Jarvis. Big up for the
Love
new
you.
arrivers from
Yeah,
United Bill Therapy. Thank you,
thank
Noridin.
you. Thank you,
Thank
Nuruddin.
you. And guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and smash the like while you're at it. 33 likes as we speak from the Mutinator. Thank you, moderators, for pushing those
Yes.
likes. And Rushmana also comes in with the Heaven injury record is a bit worrying. It is, but he's still young, and I think when you're at that age, you need just to figure out your body because remember his
He's
first
a big
injury.
lad. He's a
People
big
talked
lad,
about
Jarvis.
he was afraid, he was panicked a little bit. He didn't know how to handle it, when he
He's
got
a big
injured.
lad, Jarvis Heaven, and you've got to
Yeah.
grow into your body. Yeah, you've got to develop your muscle strength, your tensions, and that. He's a big lad, and it's very difficult sometimes to do that. So one of the issues Lenny Yoro has, he's not as robust as Heaven, is he? But he's quite I don't want to say gangly. He's quite tall and gangly. Pete Crouch had that problem. He used to talk about it all the time. He would be aching all the time because of the strengths and the strains that he puts on his body because he's wiry and he was rubbery. Heaven, I think, will grow in and become a really powerful footballer. If he does something and helps himself a little bit like Kobe did in the summer last year, put on a lot of muscle, try and build himself up, I think you'll find he should grow into that and hopefully his injuries will subside. It'll be interesting. Been reading some of the comments, and a lot of the guys were saying and girls were saying about they'd forgotten we got Leacher.
Yeah.
And is he the butcher anymore, or is he more awful and stuff of that nature? I think, and I went. If you remember, about 6-8 weeks ago, Jarvis, I said Leach's position for us is likely to be potentially left wing back rather than left centre back, and I still think you could see a version of that in some games. I think he played out wide rather than, because I think you're going to see a settled back three with Amorim next season.
I just want to say, Stu, 72 people watching. I see Stephanie coming in at 39
Hey,
likes. So
Steph,
please smash the like, and I see we are 2 subs away from 750. So please
get us to
subscribe to
750.
the channel.
Yeah, please get us to
Lavani is in the house. Mohammed Saki, a lot of the legends are coming in. Good to see you guys. I just want to finish up with this session with the tactical board and be pressured really high. And as you can see, I put a circle around the area where Lindelöf pushed up and haven't pushed up, and that made us be able to push really high and put Aston Villa under pressure. So I want to go to some footage to show you guys what I'm talking about. So here you see we are pressing. Pay attention to Dorgu's high position here.
Yeah,
he's even higher than Bruno in this press play. We have Højlund, Mason Mount, we have Ahmad here, and I reckon
just before you play it, and we've got to give Højlund some credit here because his position is absolutely perfect. It is perfect. The way that although he's slightly leaning to the left, his position there is brilliant because I can't see who that is. Is that Cash?
It's Matty Cash. Yes.
Yeah, Cash isn't. I haven't seen this pass as it plays, so I don't know. But if I'm Matty Cash, I'm not going back towards goal with it. I'm not going to lay it back to the centre half. Not me personally, but if you do, then you've got Højlund in a nice position. So he's going to have to, in my mind, come inside and carry the ball himself rather than lay it off. He clearly doesn't do any of that. So I'll be quite interested to see how this one actually plays out.
I will play it a little bit faster than usual because it's a kind of a long clip. I have to stop a little bit on the during. So just look, we put him under pressure. They play it back to the goalkeeper. See the pressure and look at it's Mason Mount here and the way the intensity of his run. I just want to slow it a little bit down again. And that's how you press because it's a trigger pass. And we know when the trigger goes, you go full-heartedly. So look at Mason Mount, how he actually sprints into pressure.
Yeah,
and that's what I would like to see because then you make the defenders panic.
I totally agree. Well, what the fuck was Matty Cash doing?
And then you see again Casemiro in the middle of the pitch, picking it up in front of his man.
Yeah.
So we keep the pressure going. You see Ahmad here on the ball, Masraoui on the ball. Let me just play it a little bit faster again. And it's a pass from Masraoui, who's our right wing back, to our left wing back. Both guys are in the attack. This is what we would like to see more of. This was Amorim football in the Sporting days. We haven't seen this in this year's Man United. Dog is on the ball, giving it to Mason Mount, and he shouts outside the goal. So
Bad
my point
choice,
with this
though,
clip
isn't it?
is a lot of intensity, a lot of movement, a lot of willingness to push and stress and tear down the opposition. This is how you press with intensity, and I think Amorim is really happy with this segment.
He is. It's bad choices though, Jarvis, from both teams. Bad choice from Cash for a start. So Cash has got two things in his mind. Either he thinks Højlund's lazy, he's not going to bother, because Højlund made the press, and that's what started everything. Cash should have cut inside, diagonally down to his right side, used his two players. If you start from the very beginning, he uses two players to shield the ball, giving him an extra 5 yards worth of space, and pushed it out. He makes that error himself. And then Mazzari, although, as you quite rightly pointed out, the cross from Mazzari over to Dorgu, how many times have we said, hit the fucking line with that one? Just go on the right on the outside. And if you can't beat your man, put your crossing behind him. And I think we have a chance of potentially scoring. But you know me, I always see things a little bit different. Your point being is absolutely right, by the way, about the press, and I agree with that.
And I also have this other segment. We can have a look at this. I'm just trying to explain why we play good today. So we will go through the big chances. This is not a big chance. It's just how I see the game. And if you look at this picture here, you see Højlund in this position. And because the trigger is the ball came back to Martinez. And now we are closing down on one side. So we're cutting the pitch in half. And here is the way where we want to build our press. Because we know that Højlund is blocking that pass to I think it's Konsa who's at that stage. So when the ball goes to, I don't know, who's their left back again? I think it's Torres on the ball. And we have Madsen who's the left back here. So Ahmad is pushing. But if you look here in the left corner, you see Masraoui already jumping hard. So Madsen won't receive the ball. And that's what we would like to see more of. You see Masraoui coming sprinting, and this is the picture I would like to see. You see McGinn trying to receive the ball. You know McGinn is quite press resistive. But Lindelöf is right on him and is pushing hard. And I think Lindelöf was brilliant today. And we won the ball high up the pitch, no free kick, and we continued our attack.
Yeah, I mean, again, Højlund is in the perfect position. That, you know, we can't really do much more there, Højlund. And he knows, and so does Ahmad knows, that Martinez is just going to sweep the ball left because that's where the space is. Now, if it was Onana, we'd probably push the ball into what looks like Onana there anyway, you know, or Harry Maguire would be there normally. That's what we would normally do. So Martinez sweeps it up. But if you noticed, it's all zonal press. This particular phase of play, which is brilliant. It's not in your phase press, it's all zonal press. McGinn falls over with a little nudge from Lindelöf, and we recoup the ball. Yeah, excellent pressure.
Yeah. And I see a lot of people, like, for example, France coming in and asking a valid question. Where was this on Wednesday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And again, you know, it's frustrating in a way, but I'm also glad to see that the players understand how to actually press. We want to press with intensity. We want to press with many men high up the pitch. How many of the chances do we want to go through, Stu? A couple of them, or
just do a couple. Raven strip. Yeah, I've just had the text, the message from United. I'm not opened it yet, so if you've got the squad and you can kind of put them in the group, that would be brilliant for us, Raven strip. Thank you.
And if you look at this too, the momentum of the game. Let me just try to enhance it a little bit. And here you see, oh, is it the right game? No, it's the West Ham game. What am I doing? Here you see the
Never in
momentum
doubt
of the
half
game.
time. Never in doubt, pal. Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's
I was
interesting.
actually looking at the West Ham game because I wanted to know how Bowen did. He did excellent today. One assist,
Scored
one
again,
goal.
didn't he? Yeah,
Yeah, he
scored again.
scored
Yeah,
again, one
brilliant.
assist.
Brilliant player.
So
My lad
Bowen,
Jake, he's not having him, but
yeah,
yeah, he's excellent. Excellent.
But you see here the momentum. We had the momentum for the first 15 minutes. Then we gave Aston Villa the ball a little bit, and then we start pushing again. After halftime, we started again pushing, and then after the red card happened, it's hard to say. But when you look at the possession, 67% possession and 2.95 xG for Man United, so 25 shots in total, 3 big chances created. So maybe we should have had more than 2-0 tonight.
I mean, yeah. Look, I'm sure you'll pull up Sir Harry Maguire's wonderful touchline brilliance again, and Dalot's strike, which was a great chance. It's a big chance. It was a good chance. It hit the post. It was just one of those where it was always kind of curling wide, wasn't it? Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. What that actually showed to me more than anything was the sustainability of our game today. It was sustained pressure, throughout the 90 minutes. And we created a lot with it, but we didn't necessarily twinkle toes Harry robbed off, absolutely brilliant. We didn't necessarily show the real true cutting edge that we've been missing.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find some of them, because I have like 20 clips of big chances. So you just got to bear with me, guys. I will try to see if I find.
I think the best thing to do is pick out just a few.
I want to find the one with the Harry Maguire chance.
This was a really interesting one from Morini. There was no pressure on this game, so I believe manager instructed our wing backs to stay up and the defenders to be aggressive. That's a good shout. That is. Rob Taff with Twinkle Toes Harry. He's shown it a few times today, hasn't he? Mainly real systemic concern today was we're all well on top, and then Maguire missed a long ball, and we got stuck in our own half for 5 minutes. So hard to get out without wing backs. Whereas absolutely, totally agree. That's a good point.
Yeah, we can start with this ones too, if it's okay with you.
And then we'll come to Jay's points, because he's noticed something about Rasmus, so I want to pull that
out. Okay, we can do this right away.
So Jay was saying, and I think he's right. I think we noticed that ourselves today, Jay. That Jay's noticed something unique about Rasmus today. Position well in the right place and the right things, and like all his games he's played the rest of the season. Absolutely right. So, Jay, I don't know when you joined us, but if you saw Jarvis's first clip, we made that point, particularly right at the very beginning, didn't we, Jarvis, about Rasmus's position. And then I went into a rant, Jay, about what an idiot Cash was, playing the ball backwards rather than going in field and using his players to, Which I shouldn't have gone into that rant, but you know what I'm like, Jarvis.
Yeah.
But great point, mate. Great point.
Great point, yeah. So let's just share this on stage again and try to. We will go to Dan Peace's comment after the clip. So this was, I think it was the 7th minute of the game. Long ball from Lindelöf, brilliant. Bruno wins the header. You see the intensity, how we want to be first. And Maguire and our wing back high up the pitch. Yeah. We are tripling down. You look how we drag all of the Villa defense to one side. And we win the ball. Masraoui goes down to the byline, cut back. Mason Mount comes in.
Wasn't it? The Mount effort, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So comes in nicely from deep there, doesn't he? Barks his run nicely. Because he's not in shot here, is he?
Here he comes in. And also the movement of Højlund, making the run in between and dragging the opposition deep. and you create extra space for Mason Mount.
Now, if you just go back a little bit, what I'd like to have seen Højlund do there, if you just play it when he's in the actual 6-yard box.
Okay. There you start his sprint.
Yeah, it's a nice little run there. Now, when the ball comes in, I'd like Højlund there to have completely lost his footing and clattered the keeper. And if he'd done that, Mount would have scored. So I'll make that point. Instead of, if he'd accidentally, ref, sorry, got him, clattered the keeper, I fell over, ref. Mount scores. He hasn't got that shitizer in him, has he? Sorry.
Dude, did you watch football in the 70s? All the strikers did it. Yeah, challenge the goalkeeper all the time.
He grabbed the keeper, actually the goalkeeper in the 70s, really, in the 80s when I was playing. Look, if you're anywhere near him, he'd elbow you or he'd punch you. If anyone's old enough to have experienced that, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. But there's more to this clip. There's more. It's not finished yet because we are in the 7th minute. So that we win the ball back again. Look at Højlund wrestling with Matty Cash, not giving him a straight run at the ball. You like this too. I know you like this. Look at Højlund actually making it difficult.
Yeah, because I think Cash is a tit anyway. I don't like Matty Cash. So it was nice to see him do that. It was nice to show some aggression and there take it again, get between two. Great cross.
Mount again.
Yeah, it's a great cross. Great cross. He didn't have enough on it. Mount had to put the power into the header, but it was nice to see Højlund use his aggression, get Mbeumo out of the way, take the ball, whip the cross in, and Mount. Yeah, it was a difficult header for Mount, but it's worth pointing out that Mount's in between 3 Villa centre halves there. Good to see.
It's good to see. Good to see.
Yeah.
We have the traveling squad from Raven Strip. United's traveling squad goalkeepers Onana by India, Tom Heaton, Harry Amas, Dan Armour, actually, and Diego Dallo. De Ligt is back. Okay, he's traveling.
But why is De Ligt going? Silly.
Beats me. Patrick Shinshapi. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'm not even going to attempt it, Jarvis.
Give it a try, Stu. Give it a try.
I'm going to call him Chesapeake. It isn't, but that's what I'm going to call him, Chesapeake. No. I would say China Zepeke or so. I don't know. Anyway, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick.
Paddy. Johnny Evans is actually traveling.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of them. Evans, his contract won't run out until June 30th, will it?
Okay, so he's still on the contract.
Yeah.
Why drag him all the way over to Hong Kong?
Yeah, again, it's the same.
Let him relax with his family.
De Ligt's been injured. Why drag him to Hong Kong? I just that's for me.
You think it's a hint that maybe Johnny Evans is joining the coaching
team,
staff?
Perhaps he'll do the 18s. Yeah,
hopefully, yeah. And we have the midfielders: Casemiro, Toby, Bruno, Tyler, Fletcher, Seko Cunha. I would like to see more of him. Kobe Mainu, Jack Morehouse, Mason Mount, Jim Thwaites, brilliant talent, and Ugarte. So the midfield looks good, and the forwards, Garnacho is actually traveling after the recent events. Ahmad, Højlund, Shea Lacey, Chido Obi, and Josh Xerxes. Yeah, it will be interesting. Maybe we will do some tactical breakdowns of the matches post season matches too.
Yeah, we could. We play the first game quite quickly, don't we? Is it Wednesday? Is it we play?
Oh, really? Okay.
I think it's because I think they literally fly out today, didn't they?
Okay.
So I think it might be Wednesday or Thursday.
Question from Bath Time. You can have this, Stu. Dropped for the final and not used today. Anything to take from that, Ugarte?
A difficult one, really. He could have been showing. I mean, Bath Time, I've got no idea, but he could be showing some kind of attitude in training that the coaches and Amorim didn't like. he's not been, there could have been a falling out with players, something along those lines. I would probably say no, but I was kind of really interested in this one.
Yeah.
Now, I presume, is he the
guy with the headband?
Yes.
Played a couple of friendlies last summer. He was sold to a Polish club, Legia Warszawa or something.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's
It's
interesting.
good. I like him.
Yeah.
He's composed.
Shay
He's calm on the
Lacey,
ball.
if he can stay fit, obviously got a lot of talent. If he can stay fit. Wednesday Kuala Lumpur, Rob Taffy's right. Friday Hong Kong, it's just fucking dumb, isn't it? It's just dumb. It really is, but there you go.
Yeah. We are linked to Emiliano Martinez.
We have been.
To leave Aston Villa, and
it's been. I'd take him. Look, a lot of people don't like him, but I like his attitude. I just think his attitude's great. Anyone, come on, guys. We've all been there. Had a few beers, although he wasn't pissed. He just won the World Cup. But anyone who gets the fucking cocky, come on. I mean, you need that type of maverick. Gazza would have done that, wouldn't he? If he'd been in that situation, we need this type of maverick. If you get him, Cunha, come in and start shaking up the equilibrium, most of our players are way, way, way too comfortable. Jarvis, I'd love him to do that in the centre of Old Trafford. Why not? Come on.
Madhouse agrees with you.
Yeah, I just love stuff like that. We need that. You just have to have that maverick, occasionally, in my opinion. Cunha's exactly the same. He's a right miserable bastard, isn't he? But he's a footballer when he wants to be. So,
yeah, looks like this is the type of players Amorim wants. Players with attitude.
You've got to take it, Jarvis.
Yeah.
We've always said, haven't we? We've been working together on YouTube now for a few years, and we've always said, squads building isn't always about the quality on the pitch.
No.
About the type of personality that you get into that dressing room. Manchester United have had winning dressing rooms for years. Real aggravating. Roy Keane scrapping with Peter Schmeichel. Bruce scrapping with Schmeichel. Ince with Schmeichel. Ince with Bruce. All fucking aggro. Robbo kicked the shit out of everybody in the dressing room because he's aggro, and you have to have it. As Fran says here, attitude and application. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Emmy gave, I went to wake up tackle. He did. So like I say, look, people can moan and say it was a stupid thing to do, but where would the banana been, Jarvis?
Yeah, he would be hugging his line.
He'd be having a fag, drinking. Yeah. Sorry, you're not in my box yet. Don't bother me till you get in my box. Then I might just wake up. Emmy Martinez, I'm not having it, mate. You're going down, pal. He's probably, I bet, this is the thing though, Jarvis. When he went into the dressing room at the end of the game, he probably would have had a pop at Torres for being too slow and not being the last man. Because that's what winners do, Jarvis. When you've been fucking behind me, I would have been all right. It is one of those things.
It is. Agile Beast 21. Emmy gave Hoyland a dose of the WWE action.
He did, yeah. This is what I'm going to do to you in training next year, pal. Next season, so watch out. I'll toughen you up, mate.
So it's actually Mason Mount chasing the ball. Johnny Cash tries to find his goalkeeper. It's a terrible pass in behind and Hoyland.
Matty Cash, Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Johnny Cash.
The legend that is Jarvis. That'll be on the bloopers reel, guys. We'll stick that in the bloopers reel.
I hear the wheels are coming, running down
the ring of fire. He's going to start
always
singing the
be
ring of
a
fire
good
now,
time. Don't ever please me come. And there it comes Martinez out and smashes
There you go.
Højlund into the
Right.
ground.
Yeah. Torres was a bit slow, wasn't
Yeah. And the thing is,
Right.
he actually tried to argue with the referee and pointed at the centre backs that he wasn't the
That's how you
last man.
do it. That's how you do it. That's exactly what I would have done. Oh, no, fucking come on, ref. He's gone down way too easy there. I hardly touched him. It's what I did. Or mine would have been, ref, he ran into me. Come on. He was running toward me, ref. He ran into me. He pushed me. He flattened Højlund, didn't he? But absolutely brilliant.
Let's do it in super slow motion and you can see it all.
Oh, here we go. Johnny K's in. You're never going to live this one down. Martinez entered the ring of fire with that shot. Mr. B's in with body slammed on.
Rasmus would never have scored that if he just let him go.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. Yeah. Actually, backed up here by Agile Beast 21. I actually would still think Højlund would have had a hard time scoring from that angle if he wasn't taken out. I totally agree.
If you look at the position of the centre back, he would probably cover the goal before
Torres. Torres would have probably kept to that. Yeah, I'd agree. But it's a brilliant one to show. I mean, it's just great, isn't it?
It's a great one. It's a great one.
Yeah. How long was Højlund on the deck for, by the way, just out of interest?
Well,
it's how high Martinez was. Oh dear.
There was nothing to argue about.
It was a red
deservedly
card.
A red card.
Yeah. I'd like to see Martinez roll around pretending to be injured as well. That would have been quite funny.
Do you remember that one with Tony Schumacher?
Yes,
against France in the World Cup 82 or 86.
Yeah, Schumacher came out with his knees, and he hit
Rocheteau or Battiston.
Was it Battiston? Guys, I know that Johnny K will tell us for definite, but he absolutely flattened him, didn't he? Joel Schumacher, it was, yeah.
Joel, not Tony. Joel.
It was Joel Schumacher. I'm sure it was Joel Schumacher. Yeah. I've forgotten about that. Stephen Taylor, when he handballed it for Newcastle and he pretended to hit ribs and broke. I remember that. That's going back a bit by half time. That is, mate. Crikey.
Battiston, yeah.
It was
a terrible tackle.
Yeah, it was an awful tackle. He got death threats, Schumacher did. I can't remember the French player, but it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Breaking news from Catherine. Breaking Luke Fatboy Shaw to McDonald's. I'll tell you what, you guys are on fire tonight. You guys are absolutely on fire tonight. And it was
Is it a bank holiday tomorrow?
Matheus is right. Matheus is, it's bank holiday in the UK. Matheus is absolutely right. He still suffers to this day. Battiston does with headaches and injury. He never fully recovered. Absolutely, 100% correct. Matheus. Catherine's back in with. I think he's. I think he'll probably sneak himself onto the plane to Kuala Lumpur. Catherine, old Emmy. Gotta like him.
But it was a red card. There's nothing more to say about it. And after that, I would say the game was in a way done. Especially when we were so dominant in the first half before the red card, and now when we're.
So it wasn't Joel Schumacher then? Is he? I know Schumacher is
Tony Schumacher.
Is it Tony Schumacher then? Guys, help us out. It was definitely Schumacher anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah. Talking about goalkeepers, Matheus comes in with a question: was Onana permanently sidelined today?
Well, I think that's a very interesting question, Matheus, which I think will be answered before the Club World Cup. And the reason I say that is June the 1st, the very short window opens, and there's a couple of Saudi teams in the Club World Cup. So I think it could be Harold, Tony Schumacher. Cheers, Dan.
Mm.
So I think that could be answered sooner rather than later. I'm Joel Schumacher. Craig, sorry about that. That's me. That is. You know what I'm like with names, Craig. I'm an absolute clown with names. So, but I did get Battiston right. Can I get a 50% credit, maybe? Harold, that's it. It's all kicking. It's all going off in the chat. Oh dear. Sorry, guys.
Well, I have some footage. It was the best I could find on short notice, but you see him here coming out.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
And that's not the best angle. But he has his knee high and he just
It's
hits him in
his
the
name.
face.
Yeah,
Whole
it's terrible.
body comes in with full power. Boom.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, it was a crazy one.
Crazy.
If something like that happened today, are we talking about 10 games ban or?
Oh, cry! I mean, yeah. Well, you'd be done for. Well, what did that lower league player get? He did something very, very similar, didn't he? Just recently, a few weeks ago. I'm sure a lower league player did it, and I think he got about 8-game ban. I think.
Wow. It's not as bad as the Cantona Kung Fu kick, but that was this. He deserved it, the guy.
Of course, it was. It was abysmal. Yeah, it was abysmal.
Okay, so we pushed hard, and Rasmus scored. Did you see the goal? It was disallowed.
I didn't see the Rasmus goal. I saw the perfectly planted header by Ahmad.
Yeah. So on this one, it's a goal corner kick, and you see Rasmus in the middle of the melee.
Already holding somebody. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's why it was disallowed. Then I presume he's climbing all over him, isn't he? Oh, and
yeah. And the header
he's
goes,
offside
and
as well. He's offside,
it's
isn't
an
he?
offside.
Yeah.
So Ahmad wins the header, and come on.
Was it Casemiro or was it Slabby?
Casemiro. Ahmad. And then Højlund comes in. And he scores with the goalkeeper. So he was actually quite lively today. Not his worst game.
Yeah, but I mean, it probably wouldn't have been disallowed for the foul anyway, but shocking that you're offside in that. But it tried to, at the end of the day, Jarvis, he tried to, he did try to play the line, didn't he? He tried to play the high line, which was good.
He did. But everything happened so fast. It looks like he gets spun over the back of the Villa defender. He tried to grab him, but it just shook him off.
Yeah.
And he ended up in offside. So if you look at it one more time, yeah, you see it there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm doing a disservice. I think the timing of the speed of the header across to him probably didn't give him enough time to get back on side. Maybe.
Yeah, but as a striker, this is where I would like our strikers to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good finish as well.
Pushing the offside line, always be in the middle of the centre back in front of goal. That's where we want Højlund. So, credit where credit's due. And we just kept attacking. We had attack after attack. So let's go to this one. Let's see. Yep. You see, we attack with a lot of men, and Villa tried to play themselves out from the back. It was Matty Cash who lost the ball. We flooded him with Kobe Mainu, Bruno, Casemiro, and who is this? Is it Dorgu, I believe?
That's Dorgu, yeah. It's Casemiro and Dorgu, yeah.
And the problem with Dorgu is he never takes on his man. He always likes to with combination play. So I think a proper winger type would try to go to the byline and cut back, but he makes a good pass to Casemiro. Casemiro, he looks at Højlund, and again Højlund's movement. I think it's quite good here. Goes on the back post, try to find it behind the defenders. Casemiro lofts in the ball, but Højlund is not quick enough, and the ball isn't 100% precise.
Was he
But
not
again,
going
I
for
think
goal?
his movement is
Casemiro?
okay.
Do you not think he was going for goal?
I think so.
Yeah. If you look at him there, I think he's going for the bend.
Yeah.
I think he's going for the goal. Although I would have drilled it. If you look at when he takes the position up, when he takes the ball from Dorgu, he's got a little bit of space to drill it. Can you see? There, drill it there. I think he scores if he drills it. But it was a nice attempt, and a good effort for Højlund to try and get in there.
Yeah.
It's been a very, very difficult ball to get right because you pinpoint. You're looking at probably level with the far post, 3 yards out, 2 yards out, maybe for it to drop. So it's a real difficult ball. There's not enough room for him to get it, to drift it.
And again, let's have a little Højlund selection of chances. And here you see Højlund on the ball. No, it's Ahmad actually pressing hard, winning the ball high up the pitch.
Yeah.
Højlund is in front of goal here. Maybe should have done better. I think if he had proper confidence, I think he would have banged the ball in front, up in top of the roof of the net.
Yeah.
But he can't make up his mind really what to do in this position, and he tried to take it down.
Yeah, actually, he would have been better off not moving towards Ahmad.
Yeah,
He
just kept his position.
Yes, kept his position. He would have had an easier finish, but he didn't. So
yeah, but Højlund usually do this. He don't have the confidence to stay in his position and just let the defenders run, and the space will open itself up anyway.
No, I mean, this is the other thing. You've got you're giving the defender a choice. The defender has to make a decision, and he could clatter into the back of Højlund, and you get a penalty if he stays where he is. But he's moved towards him, which I mean, he's what, a yard past the post, isn't he, when he receives the ball? So you're not going to score from there.
But this is good and the bad you get with Højlund. It's a terrible touch. Terrible touch, and he lost the ball. And he also had a big chance. It was 2 against 1. Or maybe we should just look at the Højlund position from another angle. I have it from another angle here, Stu. So maybe it's better for you to see what happened.
So the interesting thing here is Højlund's in a great position. So he's got 2 choices here. He's not going to try and attempt to penetrate the 6-yard box because we don't have possession. And if we do, and if he does get in behind Torres, and Ahmad wins the ball, I think it's Ahmad, isn't it? Yeah. Ahmad wins the ball, Jarvis. He's offside. He's got to fight. He's got to get himself back. If Ahmad wins the ball and passes it to him, he's offside.
Or is it Kobe? Maybe it's Kobe. I think
it looked like Kobe to me. Yeah, that's what I meant. It looked like Kobe. So Højlund has to stay where he is. But the problem he gave himself, he walked into Kobe's position, and that's the issue. Unfortunately. Time just confirmed it's Kobe. Thanks, pal. There.
But he angles his body in a strange way, If you want to score, you have to
away from it. He's angling his body away from goal, and so if he stays there, doesn't move. Now Torres might come across, and is that Torres?
No, it's Konsa.
No, that's Torres over there. That's Konsa, isn't it? So he might come across, and maybe get a block in, but he might not. And I think Højlund's got more of a chance of scoring if he stays. But
yeah, and then you have this one, 2 against 1. We win the ball high up the pitch. It's Ahmad. No, it's Højlund picking it up and making a run. But again, he stops. takes
stop.
his time,
You got to keep
and
going.
it's a
You
weak
got to
shot.
keep going. Yeah.
So if it was used to, I know you're known for your pace
Oh,
when it comes to
absolutely.
situations like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, interestingly enough, as soon as you get a yard on your defender, you need to go towards your defender rather than run away from your defender. So when you're 2-on-2, I would have been pushing Cash as well. I would have been holding Cash off as well as I'm running to the ball. So when I get it and I get my first touch, I've got a yard, and as soon as I've got the ball, I'm going to try and come across Cash so that Cash is following me. You've got to try and come across. You've got to get him over. You've got to.
But he starts in the right position in front of Cash and shielding the ball. But it's like Cash runs around him.
He lets Cash run around him, yeah. But you keep going. You don't stop. And if once you do stop, there's absolutely no way you go for a shot. You try and cut the ball back into, to your colleague.
Amado Bruno, I think is.
Yeah, it looks like Bruno's hands there, doesn't it? So that's probably what I would have done.
Yeah. Well, it was a good chance, and there was one episode in this game that was really controversial, and that was the referee who blew the whistle way too early. He thought it was an attack on Bayindir holding the ball. But if you look, this was a long ball here from Villa.
Harry completely misjudged it, didn't he?
Yes, he bottled it again, misjudged it.
It's a goal.
Yeah.
It's a goal.
It's terrible defending from Harry Maguire.
It was awful. Yeah, it was awful. Yeah. It wasn't particularly windy today, so I don't think. So I can't. You can't give him wind shear at all. Or he just lost it in the air, didn't he?
And Rodgers.
Actually, what's interesting for me is Morgan Rodgers there. He gambled, and he just kept going, and he kept going, and he kept going, and he kept going, and he made Bryan think before he went to pick up a very, very easy ball. And that's what won him in my opinion, that's what got him the goal. Watch, Bryan is in perfect control with that. But he knows that Rodgers is coming, and Bryan is almost trying to grapple the ball and position himself so that if he does get clattered by Rodgers, it's going to be his shoulder rather than his head, and that's the concentration lapse. Now, look, for me, he didn't have control of it. Now, I think there's a stupid rule, isn't there, with goalkeepers? The devilish tacticos might be able to tell us that if it's within his grasp area, or where it appears to be, he's got it. I don't know. You can't go and claim it or something like that. I don't agree with it. He had it, and it bounced between his. If you look at it, it bounced between his two hands. But Rodgers got it in between the bounce of the two hands. He got it when it was free, and it's a perfectly good goal.
This is another angle, Stu, and I just want you to pay attention to the referee. It's in the picture here, and you clearly see he takes up his arm and blows the whistle way too early.
Straight away, blows it straight away.
Let me just slow it a little bit down for you guys to see. So pay attention to the referee here.
Yeah.
Bayindir comes out trying to claim the ball.
He's got it, but Rodgers doesn't stop. Now Rodgers there.
There you see the referee.
Yeah, straight away. Because what he sees is Rodgers go in on the keeper. But it just didn't happen. It's perfectly good goal in my opinion.
Perfectly good then goal. It's too late because he already blew the whistle. They tried to go to VAR, but
but this is the nonsense of VAR, isn't it? Because he's blown the whistle, VAR can't get involved.
Well, officially, the game was stopped. He blew the whistle. So
Yeah, but
the goal happened after he blew the whistle. So the ball wasn't in play. You can't score when the ball is not in play.
no, that's right. But the same with VAR, because he
Yeah.
blew the whistle, VAR can't get involved. If he hadn't blown the whistle, then VAR could have got involved. But he blew the whistle, and
Yeah.
the rules are a
So
little suspect, John. I think goalkeepers are way protected.
so if you look at it now in slow motion, in this moment the goalkeeper has control of the ball because his fingers are on the ball. So, but you look here, he fumbles it. It's not. His fingers is not on the ball in the moment. Rogers.
No, he fumbles it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if it went to VAR, the goal would have
The
stood.
goal stands. The goal stands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether he can moan all he likes, Bryan dear, and the rules are the rules. He no, he didn't. He did not have it at that particular time.
No,
It's a
I
goal.
don't think so either.
No, it's a goal.
I think we caught a break there. And
Oh, we got
imagine if
lucky.
you're a Villa fan now losing out on Champions League next season
100
because of
million
this.
quid. Yeah, because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and again by injury, we can't play a game without
I don't know
a
what.
mistake.
Well, we've got both keepers that can't do that, haven't we? So
I think Bayender needs to go next season. Same with Onana.
yep, we need 2 new goalkeepers. Absolutely.
Batham comes in and say he thought it was a foul, and his job is to whistle. So this will usher in AI refereeing, yeah, and we'll take it seriously. And I think Aston Villa, there was some talks about Villa going to appeal this to the FA something. I don't
You
know if
can't.
you read that.
Yeah, I did. But how can you appeal that? You start doing that, Jarvis. The precedent that sets. Can I remind you about Højlund being tugged down blatantly in the penalty area against Arsenal? The last season or the season before? Blatant penalty. I mean, blatant penalty. And it just wasn't given.
This was from Fab. Aston Villa intended to make an official complaint to the
Yeah,
Premier
they can
League
make a
about.
complaint. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
But you can't. I mean, it can't affect the game.
no. So let's look at the goals. It was a tough call for Villa. I think they lost their focus on the game
Lost
after
the
this.
focus. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Was it
in
3
the
minutes?
next attack from Man United, we actually scored.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it here. Where is it? Yeah, it must be this one.
You got an Oblak fan.
Yes.
Villa, yeah. United talking to Mbeumo. Yeah, I saw that, Romano. Yeah, that's quite interesting. That is very interesting. 60 likes, guys. Thank you so much. If you could get us to close to 100, that would be brilliant.
Thank you, Rush. We'll go through the latest when it comes to transfers. We're just going to go through the 2 goals, the Eriksen penalty and the Ahmad header, and the Ahmad penalty situation before we go to the latest news and wrap this up. Thank you, Romano. I see a lot of updates coming in. Mbeumo is one of them. So Mbeumo, how do you say his name? Is it Mbeumo or Mbeumo?
Johnny K reminding everybody about Villa's 2020 goal line technology not working. Correct.
Yeah. So
it's football. It's football.
Trevor Wade is in the house coming in. Evening, Jarvis and Stu. It's been a disastrous season, but the positives for me was the Tactical Devils channel where we could air our views with other like-minded Man United fans. What a huge success.
Thank you, Trev. Thank you.
Thank
Top
you.
drawer
Yeah,
list.
I hope you guys enjoy our shows. A lot of you tune in regularly, so I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you.
It's such a narrow topic talking about small incidents and things happening through the games, and it takes a lot of time. So, but I appreciate all of you tuning in, and if you haven't smashed a like, I saw the moderator Rutinator coming in saying we are on 60
60
likes
likes. Yeah.
and 748 subs. So if you
Come on.
haven't subscribed to the channel, please help us on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And let's hope we can reach 750 tonight. That would have been great. And also coming in from Nas, you guys should do the good, the bad, the ugly about the United
That'll be
season.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we should do that, Stu.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
good idea. That. Yeah, I like that
I
idea.
have a lot of. Then I have to go through all my footage, from
Yes,
all the season.
and you've got a load. You've got a lot of footage.
Loads. My Google account is actually starting to. It's full.
Yes,
I had to update
yes,
it. I get an extra 100 gigabytes.
or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Your account's full. We need you to do this. So.
Okay, so this is the Ahmad goal, I believe. Let's look at it. Yeah. So first of all, Kobe Mainu came in, and I love Kobe Mainu. His technique is so elegant. It's so
Yeah,
slick. Everything looks so simple. Look how he takes down the ball on his chest. Not a care in the world, just a proper baller. And keeps the ball rolling, keeps it in play, and the cross comes from
great cross,
Bruno,
Alex.
and you
Great
see you
cross.
have a lot of runners coming in here, and maybe this is a move that we Amorim talked about. We saw this on the Højlund thing, running in behind.
It's a really good header. It's a really good goal. It's a really good goal. Difficult header, that, and a really good goal.
Yeah, but if you look at Villa, they are in okay shape in this moment. They have the back
Yeah.
four line intact, two central covering area 14, as we talk about. But then again, Kobe Mainu elegantly takes down the ball, keeps it rolling, simple, easy, and gives
It's
Bruno
the
the
speed
extra
cross.
half a second of time just to take the ball and
It's the speed of the cross from Bruno. One touch at the foot, bang. That's the key to it. It's a really, really good goal, that is. Really good goal.
really good goal.
Yeah, keeper had no chance. If you get that right, you place it right, it's a brilliant, brilliant goal.
Mm.
Really chuffed for Ahmad. He's coming. He's looked sharp last couple of games. Forget the final, but in the Premier League games, he looked okay.
I don't think there's not much more to say about that goal. So now we have the second goal, or the penalty situation with Ahmad. Chido drops down, takes control of the ball, lays it off to Kobe Mainu, who's here.
Yes, yeah.
And it's Casemiro on the ball, and we have the out. It's Ahmad on the right wing in this
Just
situation.
I want to point out the midfield block on Chido. Stops him in his tracks. Just watch. Just stops him. You're not going anywhere. We don't do that. And look where he is. I think that's what's his name? Oh, come on.
This one.
The ex-Leicester player. No. Tielemans. Is it Tielemans?
Tielemans. This is number 8.
Yeah, Tielemans. Watch Tielemans again, because this is I want to demonstrate brilliant midfield play and how to break up an attack.
Okay.
Without fouling. Just watch what he does. Look, he's completely stopped Obi in his tracks, and he's made. I know. We go and we get a penalty from this, but look what he's done to the attacker. It's quite important, that is, on how you stop play and how you stop attackers going. And he's made Obi. What the fuck?
No, it's Kobe. Kobe.
Sorry, Kobe.
Yeah.
He's made Kobe think, what the fuck? Just and he stopped him in his tracks. It's brilliant midfield play. Brilliant midfield play. It really is. You always think stuff like that gets completely unnoticed. But if you watch now, he'll gap him now and he'll give himself 2 or 3 yards. Yes, we go ahead and we get the pen. What did you think about the pen, by the way?
Yeah, it was a clear pen.
It was a clear pen. Dumb defending.
It's clumsy. I think he's more clumsy than dumb. I don't think he tried. He just steps on him while running. Hits his ankle, and it's a clear penalty.
Yeah, just silly defending.
Yeah. So if you look at it from a different angle, I have it here, so you will have a better look.
As a defender, what you should be doing there is doing everything you can to let the ball run out and not touch your player. Just get him out of the box. You need that ball out the box. You need that player.
If the ball is out of the box, that's a funny thing, you know. It just steps on his ankle.
You need the player out the box as well. And you know, you just shepherd and jockey. That's all you do there. You don't touch, you don't pull, you shepherd. Because if you've got somebody like Diego Costa back in the day, then he's going down all day long. Any striker, Rúben van Nistelrooy, he's going down. And as soon as you get that little touch on you in the box, you're over. Dumb defending. I'm glad we got it, but honestly, where's the danger, George? Show me the danger.
Yeah.
There's a lesson to any young defender.
I was a little bit worried when I saw this because Ahmad laid on the ground for at least 30 seconds after this.
Watch his ankle.
His ankle ligament injury. So
look at his ankle position. Can you see? Yeah. It's twisted up. And he's got him probably on the side of the ankle, side of the foot type thing. Can you just see there, the tip of his boot? And, you know, that's where you get knee injuries, by the way.
Yeah.
That's where you get knee injuries. Because then his ankle clips his own ankle. And that's what takes him down. It's just dumb. Yeah. You're talking to Philip. If you showed that to Philip's team, guys, this is what you don't do. This is what you should do. Shepherd. Because, you know, Ahmad's going to have to turn back on himself, Jarvis. If you look at the way the trajectory of the ball is, he's going to have to, if he takes control of it, he's coming back on himself. Silly defending. But anyway.
If we go back to the episode on Tielemans, Bathheim comes in with an interesting observation. He said, to be fair, Kobe stops him jumping on Casemiro there. I'm not sure that was the right contextual choice from Tielemans.
No, I quite like what Tielemans did there from a personal point of view. I quite like it. He providing you can affect something in a game of football, whatever that effect may be, as long as it's to the benefit of your team, then absolutely. I like what he did there. It's play that always goes miss. Nobody ever sees it. It always goes missing. Some of the best midfielders are experts at that, at stopping players in their tracks, whatever it may be. So it's interesting. I know what you're trying to say, Bat. Absolutely, I agree. But you look at the momentum. Also, Tielemans. So he's blocked him, and he's then away. He's gone. So if there was a switch of play or whatever, he's there. So it's interesting. I'm not sure about the penalty.
Let's look at it once more, Stu, and we can put this to bed. Well, the momentum of Tielemans is going home, you know.
Yeah, that's where he should be. That's exactly what he should be. Because look at the shape.
He's not jumping at Casemiro anyway.
No,
but
look at the shape. Look at the shape of Casemiro. Look at the shape of Tielemans, and look at his run. He knows what Casemiro is going to do.
Yeah,
that's all.
But my point.
It's an interesting take.
I like what Bathheim's saying because it's an interesting point. You know, it's a two-way street. This one, and when it comes to football, so. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, now we are with the penalty. Ref gave a penalty, and Eriksen is on the spot. Bruno gave him the penalty straight in the middle of the goal, and
Yeah, it was,
Robin
wasn't it? Yeah.
Olsen, the reserve goalkeeper of Aston Villa, had no chance. And we were up 2-0 and the game was dead.
That's it. Game over. Yeah.
Yeah, game over. So I think that's the end of the footage. I have a lot of chances, but what's the point going through them?
Yeah.
If this was the second game of Amorim, I would go mental and show you all the 20 chances, but not tonight. It's the last game of the season. Let's go into some updates. I see Rushmano. Maybe we should do some comments first, too, and I will find the latest updates from Rush. Rushy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Bartom's right. The defender just wasn't good enough. In that position, you have to jockey. You just have to jockey. I mean, I don't know what it was. Dumb defending, absolute dumb defending. But that's the way it goes. Apparently, there was some fake news being spread about Rabiot again. Mr. B is pleased that is fake news.
Oh.
Ciao. Hey, Jarvis. Thanks a lot for your work with the Avengers. Much appreciated. As you know, historical Nordic players. Would you rate Højlund as one of the worst and worst Dane? Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting.
Worst Dane? One of the best, Jesper Olsen.
Oh, God, yeah, by far. Olsen. Mikael Laudrup, maybe? Or Bryan.
Yeah, but he never played for us.
No, he didn't. But in terms of Danes,
one of the worst Danes. Did we have what's his name? Lord Bentner.
We had where Bentner was to come to
Danish
to the UK.
He's one of the worst.
Yeah, the Danes have had some. John Jensen came to the. He was okay though, I suppose, wasn't he, for Arsenal? Yeah, he was okay, wasn't he, John Jensen?
Yeah, well, did he play? He scored in the Euros '92, and did he play
Jensen
a game?
Got the winning goal. Got the second goal. Got the winning goal.
Yeah, against Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of good Danish players. The Danes has always had good footballers, technical footballers. Good.
You know, one of my favourite strikers, Elkjær. Is it Preben?
Yes.
Preben Elkjær. Preben
Elkjær, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise he said that. Yeah, he's one of my favourite. Yeah.
You know, he was a heavy smoker. I think he smoked a package a day.
Yeah, apparently the news was when he was on the beach before they got the call to go to the Euros, he had a big mound of cigarette butt ends. It was just.
I don't think he didn't play no, Elkjær didn't play in '92.
Mikael Beck at Borough, yeah. Mikael Beck, he was. I think Elkjær wasn't Elkjær in '92.
I think he was too old then. I think he was
too old. Was he then?
Yeah. Jan Mølby. He was decent.
Yeah, well, he was fucking brilliant, Jan Mølby. He used to hate that bastard.
He was quite corpulent, wasn't he? Like,
yes, yeah. He reminded me when he played. He looked like he should be wearing a bowler hat and a nice trim suit. He got that stature about him. He got the presence. Yeah, brilliant player. Brilliant player.
Yeah, Mikkel Beck. Yeah.
Crap. He had the curtains, didn't he? He had that stupid curtain hairstyle. Yeah.
One Dane who's actually underrated in the Premier League today, the guy who plays for the Danish team, Brighton, Bournemouth, Burrows. No, what's their name?
I don't know.
Brentford.
What's his name?
They have a lot of Danes, but he plays as a number 10.
Damsgaard.
Yes, Mikkel Damsgaard. I like him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Damsgaard. Yeah, decent player.
Yeah,
Henrik Larsson, absolutely bomb, and he was a player.
Who? Henrik Larsson. He was Swedish.
He was a player. He was, yeah. He was Swedish, but he was a player, wasn't he?
Yeah. But Scandinavian, yes. Um, let's see what do I have here
What we got
from
then,
the
Jarvis, my mate?
updates. Yeah, there's been some news today about the Qataris, and
Well,
we
yeah,
all talked about the Qataris, but this came out
yeah,
today
no
from Mike
Qatar.
Keegan.
That's what I read. Yeah.
I don't know, Stu, would you take the Qataris if they came in with a bid?
Look,
I'm putting you on the spot now. Yeah.
I would, but then again, I would take anybody at this point in time that could remove the Glazers and Sir Jim. We know what they're doing. It's all a cash grab. They're just trying. Everything's a cash grab at Manchester United, and I think we need stability. But Manchester United, the problem we've got at Manchester United is, and everybody's pointed this out, whoever comes in needs deep pockets. Deep fucking pockets.
But the thing is, Stu, yeah, continue, please.
And there are people out there that've got these pockets that are deep, but they're buying other clubs because they're not going to have to overextend like you would do if you bought Manchester United, and that's the difference. So when these billionaires, like the Spanish guy who's just taken over, whoever, the Zara billionaire, they're not having to fork out. They're not looking at a big black hole like you are when you come to Manchester United. His bid of 4.5 billion is probably right value for the club at the moment, but he knows he's going to have to fork out another 5 billion on top. So either way, he's looking at a 10 billion injection. I mean,
or maybe more. They talked about 12, more. Wasn't it?
He's 12? Talking 10 billion pounds or dollars here. I mean, Jesus, it's such a mess, this club. And I think this is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's problem. He's looked at it and thought, what the fuck? No. It's just a never-ending cycle. So, exactly, I think Rusmano's probably hit the nail on the head. Take Qatar, stabilize the club, get rid of the debt, stabilize the club, and move forward. But
yeah, the interesting thing, Stu, is PSR. We hear talks about the PSR rules, and we know, like, for example, Newcastle, Saudis, the owners can't come in and inject money into the club, and they can just buy whoever they want just because they have a lot of money. You have to make the money that you spend.
You've got to make the money. Yeah, that's right.
And that's the thing with PSR. But how I see today, PSR allows more than 150 million in losses as long as it's spent on academy, training ground, or women's football. So you can deduct the amount. So we can have a loss of 160 million, but we can deduct 60 million for academy, training ground, and women's football. So in a way, we can get away with it with a little bit finesse when it comes to finances.
And people are finessing finances. I mean, Leicester finessed it, and they're in big trouble now, aren't they, Leicester? We don't know what's happening with City at the minute. Everybody's looking at the City. The City problem is a problem for everybody at the moment because they don't know how far they can push PSR as opposed to how far, how little they can push PSR. I know a lot of people don't like the interest payments on the debt and stuff like that. United have always been able to service that quite easy, but it's not the point. It's got to a stage now where the club's in such a mess financially.
It's terrible.
We can't see the wood through the trees as fans, and there's no way. I don't think Sir Jim can see the wood through the trees. So. I think Qatar, if they were going to do it, you'd look at maybe. I mean, Tottenham are a 600 million debt, aren't they, with their new stadium? There are teams with debt out there, but there are better financially stable clubs, which would mean your overall investment is way smaller than by Manchester United. It's a double-edged sword, unfortunately. Manchester United is at the minute.
But if we dreamt about the Qataris, they could spend a lot of money on, as I said, academy, training grounds, women's football, and deduct money from the losses. And there would be a new stadium But the stadium don't give PSR exceptions, but they generate like big revenues, more tickets, VIP areas, better sponsorships,
But
will be events.
you've got to fund that stadium, haven't you? So I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to fund it, through sponsorship or whatever, and things of that nature. But we do need that. We do need a stadium capable. I don't even believe that in the Euros that Old Trafford for the first time ever won't be represented when the Euros come. I mean, that's just fucking shocking. I mean, that's just abysmal. Outside of Wembley, Old Trafford used to be the place. And it's just so
it's not good, Sue, and also the new owners could pay off debt, and it won't affect PSR directly, but it will give a better cash flow, and we spend, I think I read somewhere that we spend about 40 to 50 million pounds a year on interests. So
it will be, and we're paying 10 million fine, aren't we now, a year to Adidas until we get back to the Champions League. The interesting thing, though, about that is the group remains scarred by previous experience at hands of the Glazers. It's just bullshit. That's what pisses me off with journos, is they have to add a twist to it. You don't get. He doesn't give a fuck. He won't be scarred by what happened. It's just whatever. You move on. What needs to happen, in my humble opinion, and it is only a humble opinion, is that there needs to be rules in the Premier League that clubs can only carry so much debt, or a debt ratio, and that owners can be held accountable by the Premier League if they get into a situation like Manchester United is in. That can't be done because of competition, fair rights, all that kind of nonsense, but that's what I would like to see.
Yeah. And last thing, if we got new owners in, and you're right, Raymond Pierce, we are just sitting here dreaming about what would happen if Qatar came in.
Correct.
And I think a lot of people, as fans, will return when the Glazers are gone, and it will mean more shirt sales, merch, commercial income. And I know personally, I would most likely buy at least 3 new shirts every season, and but I can't do that now. I don't want to put money into the Glazers' pockets. And I think a lot of fans feel the same. They try to boycott. They spend as little as possible on the club.
Yeah, they do.
So I think it will increase our revenue with a lot of money.
Yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, I mean, look, the shirts and that, it's I don't know, it's one of those. If you go to DHK to wherever you buy it, I did have to still get in a kickback from it. Otherwise, I'd have been a massive lawsuit. Years ago, I did have to get in a kickback somewhere along the line, which means Man United are probably getting a kickback. Otherwise, there'd be a lawsuit.
We are on a never a foul raid. I see a lot of people coming in. Coming in. Hey. Big up, thank you, Cass.
Big up, Cass.
All of you guys coming in. 195 people watching, so thank you everybody for the raid. We've gone through the game, and now we're just going to look at the latest transfer news and updates.
I think this is worth pointing out. I think Neil's right. We keep going about new owners. We're just not getting new owners. I think he's right, and I think that's the expectation we have to find us, agree with. So I agree with you, Neil, on that one, pal.
Big up, Neil.
Big up, Cass. Big up, Cass.
Big up, Cass. Yes, El Santiago coming in with the Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome, El Santiago. Santiago, you're welcome.
Yeah, 100%. Latest rumors has it exclusive. Manchester United holds serious interest in Bryan Mbeumo, and have now acquired about conditions of a deal.
It's good. I've got no problem with that at all. I like him.
Yeah,
I like him. It's interesting to see, Jarvis. We had a conversation 6 months ago, and you said to me what we do to change, and I said to you, buy local, didn't I? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Get Cunha. I like Sanderberg.
Premier League proven.
Yeah, I didn't put Mbeumo in that list, but I think that would be a brilliant acquisition for us. I really do. I like him. I like him a lot.
Nash comes in and say Mbeumo and Ahmad missing in the December winter period
Yep.
for AFCON will be tough, but still.
Yeah, but you got to. Hey, we've done 750 subs. So we're on 752. Mint.
Fantastic. We are on the
That's
way
great
to.
news. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Can you get us to 100 likes as well? Everybody that's come across with the with Kaz's raid would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Thank you all. So Dave makes a point. If you have Mbeumo and Cunha, is there any point in keeping Bruno? Maybe this is telling us something. If we go from Mbeumo, maybe it's telling us something. Maybe it's telling us that Bruno's made a decision, or maybe he's not made a decision. We can all speculate on that one. But interesting point, Dave. Interesting point.
But we know Bruno is an emotional guy, and I don't know if you remember, Stu, when Bruno left Sporting, he was crying. He was crying his eyes out.
He was.
And Romano put this on here you go, on Transfers MUFC tonight, and I think that's a pretty wise observation. He said no tears from Bruno, and he handed the penalty to Eriksen. So I don't think it looked like his last game. I think he's staying.
I did, like, I've seen the speculate. Oh, what's Bruno saying and all that? Oh, just fuck off. I don't care about that. It's just bollocks. It's bollocks.
Don't you think if Bruno was leaving, he would have done an extra lap of honor before he left, and maybe we would see it here.
Not if you haven't signed the deal, no. You know, as a footballer, you got to put. It's got to be Jarvis, mate. It's got to be in black and white. Has to be in black and white. You can't. It's not. You know. All right. You know.
Yeah, but the deadline was apparently this weekend.
Well, no. It depends if Al Hilal are. I don't know if how many Saudi teams are going to the World Club Cup. I don't know if Al Hilal are one of them or not, but look, what will be on that one, pal. United might have looked at it, Jarvis, and you're right. You know, you were talking about PSR a few moments ago. They might have looked at it and see and decided they need that transfer budget. We don't know, do we? But we do know what we do know, and we've known for a while is Eriksen was going, so it was a nice way to sign off with a goal for Eriksen.
We talked about Mbeumo and the thing with him, and you know, I see a lot of channels talk about names, and we also do the same. So I'm not any better than anybody else, but I'm more interested in profiles and player types. Yes, Monday. Okay, thank you, Stephanie, for
80 likes as well. Thank you. If you could get us to 100 likes, guys, that'll be mint.
But Stu, if you look at this playing profile in Mbeumo, do you think it will suit this Amorim system, not just the eye test? Because if you look at let's see here, let me just remove this. Take it a little bit down. So his stats are great this season: 19 goals, 7 assists in 37 games. Wages on £45,000 a week. So maybe we have to triple it, double it, or triple it. 100 and
double it, give him 80 grand.
20
grand. Talking about 100.
You think so?
Yeah, you don't need to. You know, this is the problem. You know, with clubs, and this is what we would have done in the past. We would have put him up to 200 grand a week. You're on 45. Is 100. Stop your moaning. Get on with it, and we'll give you a nice bonus for you. We'll give you a good goal bonus. We'll give you a good appearance fee. We'll give you a good win bonus. That type of thing.
Yeah.
We shouldn't offer him anyone at 80, 100 tops. With regards to setting into a system, I'm a long believer in this. Get on with it. We are buying you. We want you to do this. I need you to adapt to the way I want you to play. You're coming to Manchester United. You're a seasoned international. You know, I want you. You've scored 20 goals in in all competitions last season. You've got to adapt. These players have got to adapt. They have to adapt. Yeah. Keep telling you, football isn't that complicated. You know, I want you to play there. Learn the fucking role. Just learn the role. Go home, do your fucking homework. That's where I want you.
Yeah.
I said to you,
But
didn't I? I said
but
to you a
yeah.
while ago, a couple of years ago, before Erik ten Hag came in, they knew he was coming in the summer. Everybody knew he was coming in, right? That's been talked about. Now that'll be interesting. What is the issue then, Jarvis, with finding out everything you need to find out about the manager and his system and the way he wants you to play, and then look at yourself, look at your game, and how can you fit into his system? What's the hardship in that? Zero hardship. It's just they don't want to do it. They're too fucking lazy. I think he'd be a different kettle of fish. I think he would want to make sure that if I'm going to go to Manchester United, I want to play.
Trevor comes in and say, Mbeumo, no thanks. He's mediocre at best. So he's not a big
He's
fan.
not everybody's cup of tea, and I've got no issue with that. But I like Mbeumo.
And Dave comes in and say, Jarvis, check out Patterson's the beast performance for Sunderland. That's the goalkeeper Patterson, isn't it?
Yeah, the Patterson. Yeah, they're decent. A decent.
Yeah,
finals, isn't they?
But let's just look at Mbeumo. 19 goals, 7 assists. And his FBref's stats compared to attacking midfielders or wingers, not forwards. Maybe it's forwards that's the best thing to compare him with if you're going to play a 10. Don't you think?
Yeah. Or maybe he could play up top though. Maybe maybe he could run as a 9 as well.
Yeah. So shot creating actions, he makes 3.82 a game per 90. That's quite decent. He creates chances. Progressive passes, he likes to try progressive passes. He's in the 3.74. So it's not that bad. If Bruno goes, I think he will be one of the guys who will fill the gap after Bruno. And this is the thing that Amorim loves. Progressive carries is in the 97th percentile, 3.41 carries a game. When it comes to progressive carries, it says carries that moves the ball towards the opponent's goal at least 10 yards.
But he scored 19 goals.
Yeah. And take-ons, he likes to dribble.
And we need goals. We need goals in this team. He scored 19 goals.
Yeah.
What did we finish with, a +5 or whatever it was?
But this is the interesting thing, Stu. Tackles, interceptions, clearances. So we know he likes to press hard and do his work defensively.
Yeah. And he scores goals.
I didn't realize he was this good. I'm actually quite impressed. Now I actually want him. I want him.
And that's what we need. It'd be good for us. It'd be a great addition to the squad. Great addition to the squad.
Interesting. Let me go back here. So what is the chat saying?
Mbeumo is kind of I think a lot of people. He's probably about an 80% approval rate. Raymond Pierce disagreed with me. Chris disagreed with me on adapting. He says you can't adapt or cannot say adapt. They must be adapted before. Look, I agree, but I've always had the opinion, Raymond, that the player's got to do everything he can to understand his role and how he can adapt to the new system, so to speak. So I've always been in that. But I take your point, and I got no. Yeah, I agree with you in many ways. Let's have a look. Aaron scores early. He's hunting for goal immediately. Absolutely. Bath Time says, can these stats carry over from Brentford's system to United's, though? Again, interesting. But he's got to, again, for me, he's got to make it work for him. As a player, you've got to make it work. Who knows? Look, Amorim might be coming back next year with a completely new system and way of playing. We don't know. He might be looking at players, see what he can get, and have a completely new way of.
I would be really surprised if he changed up
I
his
would as
system
well.
because
Yeah, I would as well.
he
Yeah,
stuck to
but,
his 3-4-3 formation a long time now.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Rosmano sent me something about the traveling squad. We went through that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosmano.
Guys are talking about Cherky. I mean, he's cheap, isn't he? He's less than 20 mil, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not Premier League proven, and I think we are at
No,
the
he
stage
isn't.
where we can't
Agreed.
fuck this up in a way. We have to
Yes.
be
And
precise.
finally, Travis, he's done it. Let's bring back the vote. That's how you do it. Bring back the Veghorst. Why not?
No, I'm not having Veghorst.
No, me. Bless him. Hard worker, but here's an interesting one from Raymond. Sticking to only one way, 3-4-3 will put us with Crystal Palace mid-table mediocrity. Yeah, well, you can't argue with that. There's evidence.
Not with the current squad, and the thing is, I think we need at least 10 players, 10 players to make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. And we're not going to get 10 players, are we, in this window? So.
No, and when we know the succession rate of signings is about 50%, so in reality, we have to sign 20 players for it to work.
Yeah. I did see somewhere in the chat, I think Gamer TV had suggested, and I can't find it, I've been looking for it, to say that Manchester United have activated Cunha's deal. I don't know whether I read that wrong. Gamer TV, if you're still watching, I don't know whether you can corroborate what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. And there's some updates from Rosmano. Thank you. It's about Tom Heaton. He's not saying his goodbyes to Old Trafford today with Evans and Eriksen and Lindelöf leaving, but Tom Heaton is apparently staying.
No, he didn't have a tear in his eye, did he? Carl Lester said it's true, Jarvis.
What's true?
That would appear to be the Cunha activation.
Okay.
Which is great news. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. So Tom Heaton's not crying then on the pitch?
Yeah, you talked about Cunha. This was the thing that came out. He has agreed a 5-year contract with Man United and is expecting to wear the number 10 shirt. United will now approach Wolves.
Can you just back me up on that? Because that's exactly what I've been talking about. Twisted fate. I agree. Good players adapt. That's exactly. I agree. That's what I've been talking about. The Vutinator has impressive stats in the Prem. Yeah, shopping from home is the right way this year for sure. Again, Neil, great point. You've been called out here by Mr. Driscoll. You were, if I could.
Yeah,
he's right.
Where's that? Yeah, I agree, Neil. Everything is a risk, but it's a calculated risk, and we have to play the game as best as we can. We can't just sign players with that in mind. I think we need to. We are at the moment where we need Premier League experience because Amorim he has and doesn't have.
He needs that help, doesn't he? He needs that help. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Criplup, hope I've pronounced that right, pal. How can you agree a deal without Wolves being approached? Well, very true. Absolutely very true. It may well have been that Manchester United have gone to Wolves and have had permission to speak with Cunha. We don't know about that. It's not been reported, but maybe that's been the case. Or Cunha has gone to Wolves and said, I want my representatives to meet Manchester United. Can we start looking at stuff? Can I accept a proposal? Wolves might have said to Cunha, yeah, that's okay. Again, not been reported. So, but your point's absolutely right. But tapping up, as it's called, has been going on for years, pal. So, but also, what is his release clause?
62.5.
So if United do meet, by the way, Criplup, if United go to Wolves and push the release clause in, then that's it. There's no negotiations. There's nothing. We activate the release clause and the deal gets
but the
done.
thing is, we can't. If we activate the release clause, we can't pay it in installments. So we can't do that. We have to pay a little bit more than the release clause.
We'll pay more over the release clause to pay it over 3 to 4 years, won't we, or 5 years or
Yes.
something like that.
Because if we activate it, we have to just pay up right away, and that's not how it works, especially when it comes
No,
to
it
us.
goes into
because
escrow,
our
doesn't it, Jarvis? The money
liquidity
goes into
is
escrow.
down the
Yeah.
drains. We don't have any money. That's our biggest problem. And
Mm.
our the budget for the summer is apparently £100 million. And
I
they
read
promised
that.
they promised Amorim something in that bracket, and we need to sell players. And we went through it, Romano and me and the other guys in the today actually, and who can we sell for us to make this this work. And if we can sell Bruno, I think everything will be solved. But from the looks of it, from today's game,
I don't know if we've had a here we go from Romano, whether people can search and check to see if that's just been tweeted. That was put into a group chat I've had. Whether or not you can see if Romano has tweeted that, guys, I'd love to know. It just says Matheus Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties involved. Cunha to sign a deal until June 2030 with an option until 2031. Says here, Wolves to receive 62.5 million clause value in instalments. Formal steps contracts to be checked next week. So I don't. That was put on a group. So maybe somebody could have a look on Twitter. Fab's just released a YouTube video, so presumably it's about that. So it looks like it's happened. So United has sprung into action. He's called it. Here we go. Yeah. So that's great news then. So one day, but Liverpool have done it with Frimpong. They're closing in on Verts, aren't they? Everyone's doing it.
Yeah, they're not mucking them around. They're just going straight at it. That's Liverpool.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a here we go. Maybe there's just a here we go right now while we are talking from...
Yeah, like I say, Mark Biggs has just put that into one of the group chats. So Fab on Twitter, 22:56 Jarvis, I think. Yeah, so about 4 minutes ago.
Yes, here we have it. Here we have it.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
That's the picture I've got. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so it's confirmed. Matheus Cunha to Man United. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties involved. Cunha will sign the deal until June 2030 with an option until 31. Wolves will receive the 62.5 clause value in installments.
That's a good deal then. So we've done a good deal. Jesus.
Yes.
That's great though that we've done it first signing. I wonder when that is that an official?
Yeah, it's a heavy go from Romano, and then it's a done deal. So
brilliant.
Congrats everybody. We have Cunha.
Yes.
Now we walk on to
one down.
Mbeumo. So we won
or
number 10.
Or a goalkeeper. All black. Just for you, Jarvis.
That won't happen. But Martinez, we might.
I think Emi Martinez is yes, it is Trev. Yeah, Mark Biggs. Yeah, he got married actually this week. Got married Thursday. So congratulations, Mark Biggs.
Do we move on to the striker now, Gyökeres?
Interesting. It'll be interesting to what we do. I would pretty much suggest this is all Amorim pushing. That's really interesting. We're flying out to Kuala Lumpur tonight or wherever, and it's done. Yeah. That's great to hear, that is.
So Victor Gyökeres scored also in tonight's final for Sporting, reaching 63 goals for the club and country this season.
63 goals, wow.
So 76 GA in all competition for Sporting and the Swedish national team. We can dream, can't we? But
well, again,
is a level too high for us at the moment. I don't see us signing a player like Gyökeres.
No, I think he's Arsenal bound personally, but there you go.
Can we dare hope for the?
I think he's Arsenal bound.
we can hope for. Let's Amorim call him and say, "Come on, Victor. Come on for
Well,
good
he seemed
times,
to
old
have an
times."
opinion that he knew where he was going, didn't he? He said a couple of weeks ago he'd made a decision. So, yeah.
Twisted fate coming in and say we ain't getting Gyökeres. I expect either Mateta or Delap. Yeah.
I think I think Twisted Fate's on the button there, personally.
Yeah.
I think we definitely get Mbeumo. I do think we get Mbeumo.
Pat times him. My God, that man has a big breakfast. Look at him, the size of him. Yeah, he's a physical specimen.
He is a specimen, isn't
he? This is not normal as a footballer. I would say.
Fucking old Jarvis, like looking in a mirror. That is for me. What are you on about? Like looking in a mirror. Look at it. Look at it.
Well, maybe back in the days.
Well, no, not even back in the day, really. But anyway, Game of TV. Fair play to him. He popped that up very, very early in the group chat. Thanks,
you did
for that, mate. He popped that very, very early in the group chat. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think we have any more news. The only thing I want to talk a little bit about. Do you think a partnership of Mbeumo and Cunha in the tens would actually work? I see them both as hardworking, good on the ball. They have goals in them. Maybe it could solve.
I think it gives Amorim. I think Cunha and Mbeumo gives Amorim a lot of choices. And I think you could at some point see two up top with a Mbeumo and another, because you have to bear in mind the way that he plays alongside Wissa on occasions at Brentford. You could also see, and I know Cunha's a 10, by the way, before you all start having a pop, but you could see Cunha playing an 8 quite comfortably.
Or as a striker. I saw someone mentioning the chat.
Yeah, as a striker. Yeah. You could see Mbeumo playing as a striker and a wide player. It gives them a lot of options, Amorim, a lot of options. 2 players who could probably play 4 positions. Gives them a lot of options.
Johnny K comes in with the question to Romano: if Arsenal do get Sesko, do you heard any other team who could go get Gyökeres?
Well, you've got to see who actually needs a striker. That we know that Arsenal need a striker, but we know that Liverpool don't, for example. And we know that City don't need a striker, but we know they need a couple of midfield players. So that's how he will be looking at it. We know that Tottenham need a striker. We know that Manchester United need a striker. Arsenal need a striker. So, there's a lot of people on the market. There'll be Bayern Munich might need a Harry Kane replacement yet. We don't know what Harry Kane wants to do. Bayern Munich, we're heavily linked with Wirtz, but apparently Wirtz wants to go to Liverpool. So again, Juventus could be a good place for him. Inter could be a good place for Gyökeres. It really could. Very good place for Gyökeres. Inter. So that's how I've got it. I always look at it. If I'm him, what are his options and where does he want to go?
Can you imagine? Cunha, Gyökeres, and Mbeumo.
That would be some window.
Then I would actually think we could get not only top 6 but top 4. We could do something like that.
Well, look, people will say, how can you go from 15th to 4th or 3rd or 2nd or winning the title? Look, if you put every sinew and ounce of effort into winning football matches, you can. The only team that, if football doesn't affect a football team, it's the team, the players that affects a football team. Football itself doesn't. Where were Forest last year? Where did Forest finish last year?
Yeah.
And look where they are today. Could have made Champions League football. 7 years ago, Newcastle came out the Championship.
Yeah.
Doesn't make Champions League football. It's not, football doesn't determine. It's all about the players and people's attitudes and that. So
Jale asks an interesting question. Not many are looking at Gyökeres. Is that a warning bell?
That's what I wanted to. That's what I was trying to get across.
Yeah.
Real Madrid don't need him because you've got Mbappe and you've got Vinny Jr. Who needs him? No way to Barcelona. He didn't go to Barcelona.
No, they have Lewandowski. Yeah.
Unless Lewandowski goes, then he could go there. So it's where does he go is the thing. So Sesko's been linked with Arsenal for years.
Yeah,
hasn't he?
But this one striker that no one is mentioning, and that's that guy from Porto, Samu Omerodion. Remember him?
Yes.
He scored twice against us in the Europa League.
Yeah, I
Draw
remember
3-3 when he played away. His stats are quite good this season. I think he scored a lot of goals. Let me just check. Samu, where's he playing? Porto. There we go. Let me just bring it up and we can have a look. So 19 goals and 6 in the Europa League. So 25 goals this season in 39 games.
Not to be sniffed up.
No, and he's young.
But he knows where the goal is, which is quite interesting. He knows where the goal is, doesn't he? And that's what I like. This is why when you look at Mbeumo, if there are elements of his game you don't like, he still scored 19 goals in all competitions last season. 19 goals. So,
yeah, but his stats looks good, and no one is linked to him. So maybe he's the guy. It's a long transfer window, and a lot of things will happen. So we will see. But
this is the window, Jarvis. I think you'll see a lot of stuff's going to happen over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The club
Carlos also comes in and say, hopefully we can do better than Dilap, and that's my concern too.
Yeah, the 25 in all comps. He got 19 in the league. There you go, 19 in the league. And Mbeumo, that to me is superb. So with the World Club Cup coming up, which by the way, I can't believe Liverpool aren't in it. Amazing. I don't think even Real Madrid are in the World Club Cup, are they?
Yes, they are.
Real Madrid in it. I know
so
Liverpool
the winners of the last 4 Champions Leagues are in there, but there can only be 2 teams from each country at the maximum.
So it's Chelsea and City, isn't it? Oh, it's Barcelona. Barcelona
so
on it.
Chelsea won Champions League and
Chelsea and City.
City, yeah.
So
those 2 are represented.
Who's from Spain then? Because I know Barcelona. It's Barcelona aren't in it, are they?
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Is it Barcelona?
I think so. Yeah.
I thought one of those 2 missed out for some reason.
And it's also the combined ranking of the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's how Chelsea got in, isn't it?
No, didn't they win the Champions League?
4 years ago. Someone like that.
4 years ago. No.
I can't remember. Anyway, probably because I'm not interested in it. It's not being shown live, I don't think, in the UK.
Oh, Lightning comes in and says it's Atletico and
I
Real
thought
Madrid.
it was.
So maybe Barcelona is not.
No Barcelona aren't there. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, it's been a good show, guys. We have been doing 2 hours, 8 minutes. A lot of people watching. We will be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m.
Yeah, back tomorrow.
Jarvis' Corner. We will do a panel show.
We're going to do a vote tomorrow night.
Maybe Cass will be on, and I will try to get Noradin to join us.
Yes,
we'll have a proper debate, and we'll talk about the season, what happened, the good, the bad, the ugly, and it will be a great show, guys. We're
going to do a poll as well on what shows you'd like to see us do during the break. Well, obviously we can't. We've got families and lives as well. But if there's anything you'd like us to do, then we will. What we might do is start one of our nostalgia breakdowns for you. We'll certainly try and do that. But if there's anything that you want us to talk about, whatever, during the break, then let us know.
Yeah.
It's been a great show again. Thanks to, there's way
Yes.
too many to even thank. There's been in the chat tonight, Jarvis. It's way too many. We're on 91 likes. We get to 100.
Yes.
It'd be amazing. Have we actually
And
got 100 likes on this stream yet? I don't think we
can't
have,
remember,
we?
so that will be something. I
That'd
just
be
want to
big.
say to everybody, Stu, and the chat, we call the chat the tactical devilish tacticals.
Tacticos, yeah.
If you are new to the show, new to the channel, please do us a favor, subscribe. We are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers for us to get monetized, and hopefully we will reach that target. Not hopefully before next season, maybe. Maybe. And we will try our best. We will produce a couple of shows a week at least during the summertime. There will be a lot of transfer talks. It's not my thing, but I will do it. I will try to present my point of view, and it will be a good summer. Hopefully, we will reach 1,000 subscribers. So, subscribe if you're new. Smash the like, smash that bell, and you will get a notification when we go live. And we will be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Raven Strip, Trevor Wade, Criplup,
Mr. B,
Jamie Wayne, Mr. B, Rob Taff,
Neil Driscoll,
Rushmano,
Yala Mameen's been in.
Rushmano, we talked about the traveling squad before you came into the show. So yeah. And how do you pronounce this guy's name? We'll
call him Hawk. We'll call him Hawk. Hawk. We'll call you Hawk. We'll call you Hawk. 755 subs as well, which is brilliant. Channel 5. I didn't know that, Neil. Thank you for telling me that. Apparently, the World Club Cup is on Channel 5 here in the UK. I didn't know that.
Okay, nice.
Thank you. Raven Strip, Trev, rinsing me as ever. Justin, Justin.
Stu, I just want to say this. Okay, Justin. There's a possible that Andrew Onana will leave Man United. Manchester United are interested in several goalkeepers such as Vanja, Milinkovic, Savic. Okay, that's good. Good.
Just out, yeah. Literally just out. That is, yeah. Couldn't get a work permit, could we, for him last time?
No, we couldn't. But
couldn't get a work permit. Yeah.
He's Serbian, isn't he?
Here we go. Trevor. Trevor's rinsing Hawk. In the Matata. It's fair play to Hawk. We're calling you Hawk. Sorry, buddy. I hope you don't mind. He likes it, which is great.
Banter all the time.
Yeah, which is brilliant. So we really, 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 we like that. It's Japanese for the first of the North Star. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Yeah, I quite like that. I like things like that have got a meaning. Names with a meaning are yeah. No, Jarvis was hoping for All Black. Well, yeah.
Well, I'll take anyone besides Onana and Bayindir. I think they're both calamities. Slappy hands Onana doing his thing. No, thank you. I hope this was the last time I saw Onana in a United shirt or even on the bench.
I want Martinez for shithousery. That's all I want. Yeah. Good to see you, Jamie. Glad you've been in the house. Thanks for tuning in, absolutely everybody. Dan P, Dave 147. If we've missed you, I'm so sorry. Please, Barman's been in.
A lot of legends. So it's been a
loads of legends.
Great show. Madhouse and all of you. So thank you, everybody. We will be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m. It's been a good show, and have a good night. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.